Hi everyone, it's me, Bron, and this is
Do-do.
Dane. Good job, sweetie. We hope you've had a good first day of homeschooling. Okay, so today we are going to do a little quick craft. We are going to make a sock bunny. Hooray! So what you need to make a sock bunny is one of these.
Sock.
A sock. Is it clean, Dane? Give it a smell. Is it clean?
There.
Good, I'm glad about that. Mine is one that's got kind of patterns on it. A plain sock works best, but this one has an enormous hole that is way beyond my darning capabilities, so which is why we're using this one. If you've got a sock with holes in, I'll show you what we can do to work around that. You will also need a couple of elastic bands. There we go. You're going to hold those for me, Dane? Thank you. You will also need some ribbon, just like this. You will also need a pair of sturdy grown-up scissors for grown-up cutting. And you will also need either a black felt tip or a black Sharpie or some sort of permanent marking thing. We had knocking about some 3D fabric paint, and the reason why we're using this is because we are using a dark coloured sock. A black felt tip would be great on a pale coloured sock such as white or cream, but because ours is black, we are using paler colours. The other thing you will need is something to stuff your sock with. When we've made these in the past, we've used rice. Now, food is at a bit of a premium at the moment, so I wouldn't recommend using rice, but you can use other things. Cotton wool is perfect. We happen to have some toy stuffing in here. This is quite inexpensive stuff. If you do a lot of toy making, this is worth investing in. But if you don't have toy stuffing knocking about, or you don't have a lot of cotton wool knocking about, a suggestion from my mother-in-law Diane was to shred paper as well. So you can also shred some paper to pop inside your sock. If, like me, you've got one sock with a hole, or you've got quite a few spare socks or scraps of fabric lying around, you can also cut those up into strips to use to stuff instead. Are we ready to go? Yeah. Let's go. So the first thing you need to do is to stuff your sock with whatever stuffing material you've got. We're going to use our toy stuffing. Dane, do you want to pull some of this stuffing and push it into the sock? Hello, Mr. Sock. Nice to meet you. Excellent. You want to stuff your sock, not all the way, up to about just below the heel would be ideal. If you've got a hole in the heel, you'll have to play it by ear as to how far it goes. The advantage of using something soft like cotton wool or stuffing means that your child can play with it afterwards. The other advantage of using cotton wool or stuffing or something soft like shredded paper is that your child can play with the toy afterwards, which is a rather nice thing as well. I think this looks about good. So if I unroll it, that's where the hole in my sock is, and the stuffing that's packed down comes just below the heel. Now you will need one of your elastic bands. Dane, have you got the elastic bands?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, can I have one, please? Thank you very much. Now you want to wrap your elastic band at the top of where you finish stuffing round as tight as possible so that none of your stuffing can escape. So you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Then you need to take your other elastic band. Dane, can I have the other elastic band, please? Thank you. And you don't want to tie this one too tight. That's going to go about 2/3 of the way up to make a neck for your bunny. So if you've got a little elastic band, one should be fine. This might be a 2 job, although it's going to look like a slightly throttly bunny. There we go. Actually, that's not too bad. There we go. There we go. Mine is a branded Harry Potter bunny. So now this is the bit where grown-ups need to take over, I'm afraid, Mr. D. So you will need grown-up scissors. And for me, because I've got this hole already in the sock, I'm going to use that as part of the guide. We're going to cut off just a little bit of the top of the sock, because this is where we're going to make the ears. So I might just go along this line here. And the reason for grown-ups doing this is because cutting fabric's difficult at the best of times, and somehow sock fabric needs a little bit more working. But if you've got much older kids, of course they can have a go instead. But I definitely recommend using sturdy kitchen scissors, or if you've got them, fabric scissors. So once you've cut the top off, you will also need to cut down either side of the ears. So I've made a start here. I'm just going to neaten it up a little bit more. So right now the ears are kind of a bit of a funny shape, so if you want to trim them just to take off any funny jagular edges, you can do that too. So that's one ear done. That's kind of like an ear shape, so I just need to do the other one to match. There we go. So now I've got something that looks a little bit like this. So I've got a bunny with two slightly more floppy bunny ears. If you've ended up with a bit of stuffing on the top, you can just pull that out and pull it away, so it's got a nice clean top.
This is the fun part. Painting.
Painting, that is the fun part, you're right. So Dane, do you want to get the paints? We chose fabric paints ahead of time. We chose ones that were pale to go on our dark bunny. Again, you don't have to use anything as fancy as fabric paint. You can use regular felt tips, but you need to use a pale sock to do this. We've got a nose right now. There we go, lovely nose. And should we do a happy face? Yeah. If you've got Google eyes are a great way to add a bit of personality, but that makes it quite difficult to play with afterwards unless you've got some really strong industrial strength glue. So if you want it to be an ornament, or if it's not going to be played with too roughly, then you can of course use Google eyes, but otherwise felt tip's fine as well. Here we go, Dane's drawn a lovely happy bunny face. Now our fabric paint will need to dry.
Boing, boing.
Boing, boing, boing. Our bunny face will need to dry before he can be played with, but he looks rather lovely. He looks like a very happy bunny. The last thing you need to finish him off is a little bit of ribbon to tie around, which will just cover up that elastic band so it doesn't look like you're throttling your bunny. There we go, and now we just need to trim that end, and our bunny is all done. Hey Dane, what should we call our bunny?
Mr.
Mr. Ears. Mr. Ears the bunny. Hello, my name is Mr. Ears the bunny. Nice to meet you. Oh dear, we smeared some of the paint. We're going to go and fix this, but I hope you enjoy making your very own Easter bunnies. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye for now. Thank you, say bye.
Bye.
Mr. Floppy Ears, can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye, everybody.